Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Get Out with the Hood. It's me. We are out here just living our lives in the fucking lockdown. Or living what we can of our lives, because our lives have 100% stopped, slowed the fuck down and ground to a halt. That's all I'll say about it. Don't want to get bogged down in the facts. Here we are, living the dream, okay? So, I want to talk to you guys about, firstly, let's talk about Pancake Tuesday. That was a thing. A lot of people seem to be quite surprised by Pancake Tuesday on social media. Now, obviously, just living in Glasgow and obviously being a Catholic, we kind of get the fucking gist. Now, nobody got their ashes unless you went out and cleansed and prayed over some fucking palm leaves, dished that shit up into the oven and smashed it on your forehead. Nobody got their ashes. But are we doing Lent? Is lockdown an excuse to not do Lent? I've been doing Lent purely because I know I've been having far too many cans of Coke, far too many bags of crisps, too many fucking sweets left, right and fucking centre. So that's fine by me. I think I will do Lent, but I just want to say, like, there's no harm, no foul if you're not fucking doing Lent. And Jesus is probably the exact same. Bored as shit, watching us. That's it. That's fine. So, now that we've done all that crap for for religion, I just obviously hyped up a lot of the stuff that I had been doing, and then I had a guest on last week. So, and I did see there's a lot of stuff coming, a lot of stuff in prep, and a lot of stuff that I had been working on that honestly just makes you feel like I might actually be off my fucking head. Now, if you haven't come to that conclusion already, I don't know what to tell you. The fucking danger signs were there. The lights were on. There was a fucking, like, do not enter on the door, okay? And you still came in. We're still here. So, you're now just here for the ride, and that is all I can fucking ask for. So, anyway, I was on Tinder. Now, I did say to you, and actually, like, if you haven't already, there's a page called Love That For Me that I have done a few bits and bobs with. She came on for the Halloween special that's on YouTube, and now we have got our own special called Hey Stranger on her YouTube account. She tried to put it on IGTV. Technology doesn't work for us. Like, we don't get it. So we had to upload. Well, she had to upload. I was in the bath. She was panic texting me while I was up to my fucking neck in bubbles. Now, that's just the life I live. And I said to her, I was like, oh, I'll answer the phone, I'll be fine. And then I just was like, oh, just gonna go to bath. And she couldn't get a hold of me. So that was fine. She literally, I came out and I was like, oh, what's going on? Like 300 messages, but we figured it out. It's now up on YouTube. It was part of the Valentine's thing that we done. We basically started talking about, like, we called the segment How WAP Is Your App. Now, if you haven't heard the Cardi B song, you must be living under a rock, but highly recommend going and listening and then going and seeing what the fuck we said. We put the world to rights. Now, I will have no judgment on the fact that we had been drinking for a wee while before we started the filming, but it's all good. Back to the issue. I did say, and I have always said, Tinder is not the fucking one. If you're looking for love, Tinder is not the golden nugget, not the golden ticket, not the golden goose. It is a shit show out there. Dating men, 100% a shit show. Like, you cannot write some of the shit that goes on. Like, it is unreal. Now, I obviously told you last week on Tinder, we came across a corpse. I honestly am now starting to wonder if anyone else had come across him or even asked him or just assumed it was some random friend of his at a party, or like what happened. I kind of wish that Tinder had updated me on the fucking report of, like, this man has a corpse, a dead body in his Tinder bio. Like, that's a whole thing. So Tinder is for, like, just banter and bullshit, and that's all you can say about it. However, I obviously, in my heart of hearts, deep down in my fucking left knee, I'm a bit of a romantic at times. And don't we all do it? Don't we all just kind of slightly get our hopes up a little bit, and you're like, oh my god, I could really see myself getting fucked over by this man. Don't we all do that? Is that not normal? So basically, I was on Tinder and I was swiping my merry fucking way left and right. Bin, in the bin later, put him in the recycling, come back to you, bin, you're going into the golden, basket. It's fine, like, everyone does it, everyone gets bored, and if you can tell me 100% honestly, hand on fucking heart, that you are not just on dating sites for anything other than curing your boredom, Okay. Like, I'm not even going to close that off. We're just going to leave that. Think about what I've said. I don't know if it makes sense. I'll need to hear it back. But I was swiping, and this man appears. Now, I'll give you quite a short, brief description. He's 34. His account is verified. Mine is also verified. I also have an issue with Instagram. It won't quite let me connect it. So I've had to put my own @ in there. I do not recommend it unless you have the fucking gall, the balls, the power of shite that I have. You know, if you cannot spew that shit everywhere and just fucking go to town, please don't, because you're opening up yourself to a whole fucking world of abuse and weird shit and possibly fucking penis. But anyway, back to the description of this man. He has a beard. He has hair that is very, very closely shaven to his head. His first picture is him lying in bed. The age of this man, 34. Bio says, I like to spend time with friends, family, hit the gym, nights out with the lads, and random trips away. I'm not, in full capitals, a fuckboy. Back to lowercase. But if I find someone worth fucking, I'm keeping winky emoji. We can already tell this man is oozing sex appeal. So my bio literally says, like, tall, you know, if you can keep up, like, take it as a challenge, blah blah, talking about, like, my chat, of course. I'm not big-headed. So he comes sliding all the way in with challenge accepted, when do you want to do this? And I was like, well, I'm free on Sunday, and that's enough time for me to get a little Rocky montage together. And he goes, okay, but how does a drink sound in mine on Sunday? And I'm immediately, it sounds like it's never going to happen. Coffee at Starbucks, though, like, that's a possibility. He was not happy about that. He was like, but why? Why would that not happen? Because I would not do that, son. That is why. So this man is actually 10 years my senior. Acting like this? Son, I hate to inform you, but your bio's lying. This is fuckboy shit. He goes, I didn't even know Starbucks was open. Well, I can tell you 100% that it is, because I have been on multiple coffee dates. Basically, this man is now telling me that Starbucks is not open. Like, yes, it is. Like, in the whole pandemic situation, I don't really want to out myself. Oh, am I going to out myself? Am I going to do it? Okay, let me just... So, I also take my sister to work. She's an essential worker. We get coffees quite a lot. So, let's just say on one hand, that's 10 coffees that I've gotten with my person in my house that lives with me. And then on separate occasions, I've gone myself, we'll say like 3. So that's already 13 times. Okay, unlucky for some, you know, sign of the devil and all that. Oh, fuck, here I go. Okay, so don't at me, don't shout at me. It's kind of the same as, like, going for walks in the park. Now, obviously, during, like, when things were helping to eat out, I utilised the time in the chat that I had been having with people for weeks and weeks and fucking weeks. And I honestly think I've had about maybe 20 coffee dates. Is that bad? I think, yeah, okay, it probably is bad, but it's the hard fact. So let's put them together. 33 fucking Starbucks coffees that I can count on my hand. There's probably some in there that I've forgotten about. But even at that, fuck, why would I not be at Starbucks? Like, are you kidding? So anyway, this man's clearly delusional and blind. And fucking blind. So, basically, I told him that Starbucks was essential. And it was the kind of similar situation to, like, McDonald's and KFC. So the Starbucks near mine is a drive-through one, and it's open. So basically, you can't just go and sit down. Obviously, when it was open during, like, lockdown things, like B&E's, it was open. You could at one point go in. Obviously not now, but he was like, no, but you can't even sit there. And I was like, it's drive-through only. He's still wanting me to go back to his. He goes, okay, well, how about we do that, and if we click, then maybe we can go get a drink at mine. And I said, but let me ask you this, like, how am I getting home from yours if I drive over there and then have a drink? Bearing in mind, I never actually asked this man where he stayed, never got his height, like, this is a 34-year-old man who lives on his own. And this was the response. Simple lol. If we click, then we can have a drink and stay the night, but no fucking. Haha. Now, there's a full stop after fucking, and ha-has in its own separate section. That's if you can handle yourself, full stop. I'm in a mood for a drink, cause during the week right now is so boring. As if everyone is not in the same fucking boat. As if everyone is not in the same boat, having the same struggles, dealing with the same shit, and now we've got fuckboys on Tinder. Like, this guy was really so confident I was gonna like him. Or even just blindly follow him to his gaff, his house, his humble abode. Drink with him, have no way home, spend the night. So I don't think you're going to give up your bed and sleep on the couch. And I definitely don't think you're going to give up the bed and sleep outside. You know, like, that's just obviously not the game. And that's just not what's going to happen. So I said to him, I was like, you're really confident. You must be so confident that I am going to like you. Like, are you aware that this chat is a bit stale and all it is a bit of a fucking pissing contest between me and you? Like, are you aware? But he did say nah. But if we don't get on, then we can call it quits. But if we click, then it's all good. I said, how about we see how the chat is? We go for coffee. If it does go well, we can see about a second date. He goes, okay, I'm sure we could do that too. Have you got Snapchat? Now, I've already said Snapchat in the bio, but nothing fucking else. You have to ditch. That boy wants to either show you his dick, beg for nudes, or do both, and I don't support it. I don't support it. I think girls deserve better, honestly. And dick isn't that appealing unless it's, you know, inside. I told him I didn't have Snapchat. He asked me for WhatsApp. I said, listen, I do have WhatsApp, but I think we should chat here before I start dishing out digits. Like, whereabouts do you stay, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, but if you lose me, then it's on you, lol. And then he tells me he's not actually in Glasgow. He's not a G postcode, but it's right next to Glasgow. What about you, and why is your wee ass on here? Listen, kid, it's not wee. If that man was eating ass and I clenched, he would suffocate. All I'll say. All I'll say about it. That's probably too much information. That's fine. That's okay. I'm not stating whether I do or do not partake in such activities. However, I will tell you, a bitch has cake. And I said to him, in response to what my wee ass is doing on here, I'm on here because I'm single, clearly looking to get a wee roster of easily lost men under my belt before I give them my number. And his response was that I may lose him because he's been banned from this site a few times for no reason at all. He goes, it's madness and I do hate talking to people and not getting their number or Snapchat, but then Tinder blocks me. But anyways, sir, why have you been blocked from Tinder? Why have you been reported? Like, and surely if they ban you and remove your accounts, you have to be reported by a few people. Like, it's not just like one person says, oh, this guy is fucking weird. But I just said to him, I was like, listen, if you lose me, my Instagram is in the bio. So if you're really that fucking desperate to fall in love with me, buy me a boat, get married to me, do whatever it is, right? Find me. You can find me. It's not hard. It gets, I don't know, better or worse. Like, it just gets better. I just start to kind of fucking play ball with this guy. So after this, he kind of didn't have anywhere to go other than to ask me a question. Let me set the scene. It's a lonely night on Tinder. I'm just kidding. At this point, it is 7:15, okay? His message comes in. Are you bisexual at all? Why? And I just said, why? Do you want to know if I can fuck a girl better than you? And his immediate response, like, this man was sitting on the chat. It was seen, it was delivered, it was typing up before I could even fucking shut the app. I like girls who like girls. Being with two girls that love that made things super fun. I said, super fun how? Now, he goes, they are very girly, always up for a laugh, like to tease me with other girls, and I like that. Now, I had to start wondering if this man's just watching lesbian porn, or if he's actually been with women like this. If he has, fair fucks. But the way he's speaking to me right now makes me wonder if he's ever actually socialised with a woman beyond the bedroom. Like, are you having a fucking laugh? This message is in two small like bits. And he goes, last girl I was with, she would bring over someone, they tease me for hours before letting me in. I like that kind of stuff. So I said to him, are you bisexual? No, I'm straight, babe. And I said, oh, that's such a shame. I love watching two guys get off and tease me for hours before they let me in. I just really, really like bisexual guys. He goes, okay then, sounds like you're having a laugh now with me talking about what I said before from me. So are you not bisexual or even thought about girls like that? I said, oh, I am doing exactly that. Why does it matter so much? And he goes, I know that, lol, you wee shit. Excuse me, we're not on that level. It does matter, but thought I'd ask, like, just, because you look the bisexual type. Now, I have to ask, what the fuck does a bisexual look like? What the fuck does anyone look like? So I said, you're 34, let's get a little bit of respect in the chat. He goes, I'm all about respect. But somehow, the only way to be bisexual is to have a look about you, according to this man. Now, I don't know, I feel like everyone has a look about you. Everyone has like a little look, a little sahan, like they've obviously got a vibe. Not every single girl with like her nipples pierced is bisexual. Not somebody with like a fucking eyebrow piercing is like, what is the criteria? What is the look? So I'm now going to like dedicate my life to figuring out what the fuck the look is. What I'll also do is I'll post my own dating sites, which, I'm opening myself up here. Let's fucking do it. It's all stuff that's on Instagram anyway, like nothing wild in that. And I have never been told I look bisexual before. I've definitely been asked, and there's definitely like a lot of fetishization, I guess I use it, going on in this fucking chat. But regardless of, this man was not asking me anything about like my hobbies or my life. This man doesn't even know about this podcast. And to be fair, a lot of them don't, unless they've accidentally stumbled onto it, or in the very, very early stages to help me to bring in. I feel like that's what happens, isn't it? Like, you tell people about things and then they're like very negative. So I think I addressed this when it happened, actually. There was one guy that I had put up on my like Hinge profile. It was like, what's one of your hobbies? I was like, oh, podcast. Like, who the fuck am I? Joe Rogan? I think the fuck not. So this basically happened, and he was like, you must talk a Polish. And I was like, whoa, you are like 18 years my senior. Where the fuck do you think your kind of opinion's relevant to me? Like, I'm here to wind you the fuck up, and that is it. It's like, I don't care what you have to say. You're a man with a beard, and that says all I need to know about your lifestyle choices. So that was fine. But like, honestly, these people are crazy. So they just don't care. They just want to like, they have certain things they want to like attack you for or whatever else. But yeah, so this man continues to push and he was like, so you're not going to answer? So I was like, well, you could ask me literally anything non-sexual. I don't know why you're so caught up on the fact that I could possibly very well be a bisexual. And I just refused to answer. So he's like, is that a no? Like, trying to antagonize and answer it of me. Like, son, you're bald, you're 34, you live somewhere not in a G postcode, but you want to say you're from a G postcode. There's a fucking line, okay? Like, and the other thing was, his bio read like, I'm not a fuckboy. Son, I could say I'm not a girl. Like, I could write that. That doesn't mean that it's true. I am still in fact a woman. I could say anything. Like, we're all liars out here in this earth. Like, we're all just like telling lies, doing whatever. It doesn't make it true. If you're acting like one, you are one. Whether you choose to accept that fact or not, like, you're a fuckboy, and that's the bottom line. You're a fuckboy at 34. I mean, that's an issue. However, it got to the point when I was like, yeah, all he was doing, are you, tell me, bisexual, are you? No, yes, no, yes, no. I just really need to know, why is it so detrimental to like however this fucking goes? This was the kiss of death. The immediate, like, the second it was in my phone, like, as soon as he hit that send button, it was over for us. Not that it was going anywhere ever, but I just immediately was like, nah, like, fuck this. So, because I just think that's a massive red flag. Why do you want to talk about someone's bedroom antics and their sexual preferences without actually getting to know them? Now, obviously, everybody's up there for like the banter and whatever else, and it can obviously be fun and flirty, but this is not the way. So it got to the point where he wouldn't let it go, like a dog with a bone, like literally so bad. So I said, ask me again. And he was like, this is so boring now. But have a nice life. Bye. And left me and unmatched me. And I was just like, holy fuck, man. It was so funny. But then, actually, back on the Tinder theme, I have to be really honest. Somebody did try and name drop in their bio. Now, I'll be fucked if I know who the fuck this man was talking about. I had to like look him up. I found him on Instagram. Turns out he's like a really big person, like in, I don't know if it's boxing actually, I think it's boxing, and he's done stuff with like JD Sports and like, or JD Sports if you want to say it, and then other things like, I can't remember, I feel like a water company maybe, unsure. His name's like Anthony Joshua, apparently the heavyweight champion. Now this is news to me. I recognise the man's face. Didn't know anything about this guy, no. But apparently the guy on on Tinder, it was his best pal. My biggest flex is that my best pal is like Anthony Joshua or whatever. And the first message this man sent me was, I'll scran your arse. I will scran your arse. Just let that sink in. So I immediately was like, hang on, like, what the fuck, so funny, screenshot of course. And then I was like, well, it's best enjoyed as part of a balanced diet, because from the jump, this is obviously a piss take conversation, this isn't serious, it's just bullshit, it's going to go nowhere. I know that this Snapchat is going to be asked for pretty much immediately. Now this guy's not verified, there's nothing connected, like, this is a fucking bam up, like, this is a joke. This is some fucking like weird wee model type guy. Totally ripped to fuck, covered in tattoos. Now the guy was hot, like he did have nipple piercings, which is usually a no for me, but like it's obviously not a real account. Like it was just so funny. So it kind of goes on and on. He keeps asking me if I've got OnlyFans. Like, fucking power to you if you do what you want to do, live your life, be successful, make your money. And it just became more and more ridiculous. I told him that I had COVID, which is not necessarily true, but people that I know have got COVID, so I was like, can't come and meet you. So it's just obviously COVID times, it's so high risk. And he he was like, so I can't, like, you know, I can't ride you or whatever it was, some bullshit. Obviously, you know that these screenshots will be put up on the Instagram, and well, yeah, just Instagram, I'll put them on the Instagram. And it got ridiculous. So basically this guy it's listed saying that he's like 16 kilometres away or whatever the fuck it is, right? I don't know how it all works. I'm just out here living my life, being weird, and that's all you can really ask from me at this point. Okay, that's all we can ask for in my life at the moment. So basically he was like, yeah, close enough for you to come over then. And I says, I can't, COVID. And he was like, so I can't ride your arse. Now props to this man, because he used a like colon thing and then like a closed bracket for the sad face. And I says, you wouldn't be riding it anyway, I don't know if you can reach. Now obviously we all know I'm tall, 6 foot tall, whatever, you know, pride or whatever. If you're tall or you're not tall, I don't really care, I'm tall. So he asked me how he couldn't reach. Well, I'm tall as fuck and you're standing on 2 chairs to get a mirror picture. Let me set the scene. This man literally is standing and balancing on 2 chairs to try and get a full-length picture of him in a mirror. So this kind of leads me to believe that although he may be really muscly in the pictures, he's not very tall. This guy says he's 6'2", and I was like, well, maybe you're not that short. He says he's big enough to ride. And I says, I'm so loving the fact that you would risk a wee cheeky bit of Corona for the chance. And he goes, I would inject Corona to be hanging out the back of you, for the chance to be hanging out the back of you. And I honestly was taken aback by the romance. I was like, this is like something from a B&W film. Now obviously that on text speak, black and white, makes sense. This man didn't know that. He's like, B&W? And I was like, well, it's not fucking B&M, it's black and white, like the really old ones, you know, the ones that came out before colour. And he was like, maybe a black and white porno? And I was like, I don't know what to tell you, I don't think that would do well. So I start talking about vintage porn and how way back when, if you go back far enough, There's people on the Pornhub situation, or probably in all porn sites if you really, dig deep enough, where everyone has like 80s fro style pubes. Everyone's got a bush, full bush, literally a fro, a little full bush. So he then starts asking me if I would consider starting an OnlyFans to punt up all that shit on that. And I'm like, oh my god, you're such a progressive man. You'll need to send me the link to your OnlyFans. I'm just pushing this right fucking back on him. So then I also said, you know what? I would be the best cameraman. I would get all those angles. Think how good and artistic this would be in black and white. Who would? This is amazing. I'm just really pushing this bullshit idea so that this guy can stop talking about hanging out the back of me. And of course, here it comes. He starts telling me about how big his bank balance is already and how is me being a cameraman going to help him ride me. And I'm like, there's no need to start bringing in money, okay? We're trying to work on building money in your porn career at this point. Right now, I'm your manager. I'm your manager here to direct you in the ways of the porn industry that I have no idea about. So then he started saying that he just wants to ride us, and I'm like, oh, here we fucking go again. So I'm like, well, get in line. Like, why should you get the chance? Like, why are you any different from all these other fucking weirdos out here trying to get a shot? And then this man starts telling me he has got unreal dick. As if he is the only man to ever have said this on this earth. Like, lie through your fucking teeth, why don't you, okay? I'd believe you if you told me you had, like, 7 houses dotted all over the globe in a fucking yacht. I would believe that more than someone telling me that their dick's unreal. Because, you got to be your own cheerleader in these situations, but, like, no one believes you. No one's going to believe that your dick is unreal. And, like, if that's the case, I want some fucking references. Like, I want a feedback sheet. I want numbers to call. I want to do some background searching on you. I want to make sure everything's good. Now, obviously, I am still very aware this is like a fucking spam account. It's not real. And I was like, no. It's a lose-lose for me, really, because I'm only got your word to go on, blah, blah, blah. And then the immediate response to that was, you got Snapchat. Babe, the casket is shut, like it's getting dug into the ground, like there's no more nails to be put in, it's ready and waiting, you're on that like leverage thing that puts the coffin in the ground, like we are done, I'm standing with shovel in hand, on the fucking shovel, case closed, it's over, bye, like, so, I mean, that was a real fun time for me. But that's some of the things I've been dealing with on Tinder, which obviously I did say was just a whole fucking shit show. But I also wanted to talk about something that came to light the other day. Now, somebody sent me this and asked me if this was real life. So I was like, right, let's get into it. And I have like a few girl pals that I did say, like, what do you guys think about this? And the question was, or the TikTok said even, that just wait until guys find out that girls lose their feelings, emotional, nothing else, and then kind of are like numb to it, and then the feelings do come back eventually, but they lose feelings like in that time period. And my immediate response was like, yeah, this happens. Yeah, it does. Obviously, I will just break it down from my perspective of what I think goes on. I think it becomes a case of like the girl likes the guy and the guy likes the girl, and there's like a kind of almost an equality situation there, like of it's a kind of equal effort on both ends, and then the scale tips. The guy doesn't do too much different. The girl starts to maybe be a little bit more like, yeah, let's go, like we're buzzing, we're doing things for each other. That's how it feels initially, but then you start to realise he's pulled a little bit less weight than you have. And you're like sitting like just doing all this stuff for him, and it's a kind of very different vibe for a guy and a girl. And I think it's when the girl then eventually kind of is like, oh well, this is just what I'm dealt with right now, which also like all these other factors play in it. But then the whole thing is like the guy will maybe notice, like, or the girl will notice he's not doing as much as what she is, and then she'll kind of be like, all right, here we are, like this is the situation. Now this is kind of maybe one of those ones where girls will sometimes come in and then they'll like fucking bail on it. They're like, if I'm not getting what I'm putting in, why? Now, like, I obviously, I won't pretend I'm not a bit of a hypocrite. I do things that I tell people not to do. Everyone does it. Like, you can't take your own advice. Like, I am honestly the best person to come to in a crisis. Like, I will help you. Will I help myself? No. Will I self-sabotage? Yes, I will. And that's just the nature of the beast. That's just exactly what people do. You can see what you should do and you'll still not do it. I can sit, like, I'll procrastinate like a motherfucker. Like, I will just sit and be like, oh, so much to do, gonna do this, gonna do that. And I feel amazing once it's done. And I know it has to be done, but you know, you're sitting there just prolonging the suffering of like thinking about it. So all this stuff, but then eventually like maybe things will change or something will happen or he'll maybe do something and it'll just kind of bring it flooding back. So yes, the answer is yes, girls do lose feelings. Someone did say that they would just leave if that was the case. Now obviously that depends on the circumstance. Now I just feel like you fall in love. How mushy. I feel like you fall in love repeatedly, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like you can fall deeper and deeper with that person. Obviously, it gets comfortable, and I think that's when people start to kind of like lack in what they do for that other person, which is fair enough. Fair fucks. Like, stick to what's best for you. But to answer the question, do girls fall or lose feelings? And then the feelings come back. Yes, that is true. Yes, it does happen. Obviously, to varying degrees, depending on the circumstance and the people involved. So, yeah. I don't know if that actually answered any sort of fucking questions. But to make up for the technical difficulties I had last Sunday, I have something I want to bring up. So, as we know, like, I literally get so many DMs and things, like... Do I reply to them? Occasionally. Are my read receipts on? Absolutely. I want you to know that I've ignored you. That wasn't like that. You gotta come ready to play at this table. Like, I will just do whatever the fuck I want to do, whenever the fuck I want to do it. That's the vibe. Certain people, not so much. Certain people, more so than others. If I don't want to talk to you, I won't talk to you. If you want to fucking play with me and think you're going to get away with it, absolutely fucking not. Do you know who I am? Do you know what I do? Have you heard any of the podcasts? Especially if you know about the podcast and you want to still play that fucking bullshit. Okay, let's do it then. Let's fucking get into it. I had this guy... and he was phoning me all the time. He was phoning me and texting me, and we would send voice notes and whatever else. Now, this was just one of many. And also, I have another story. Do you know what? I'll tag that in after this story. So, he basically was... we're liking each other's pictures. Like, it was friendly. There's a good vibe there. And... oh, amazing. So... he used to actually phone me drunk, and now he's not from Glasgow, he's from somewhere else, and that's fucking fine, amazing, love that for him. He basically one day, so this is how petty, people are petty, guys are petty. Now, there's beef with certain people that say certain things. Now, I don't want to give too much away because this story's ever, you know, changing, it's developing, it's a child that is growing into... hopefully a monster, so that I can tell you guys all about it. So basically, this guy messaged me one day. I was so busy, I was doing a lot of stuff. I know, can you imagine me being busy in a fucking furlough in the middle of a pandemic? Who's busy? Well, I'll tell you I'm busy. It's another thing. So this guy messages me, and I literally think I took about maybe 12 hours to reply. Now, fair enough, everyone's busy, everyone's got their own thing going on. It is what it is. Like, that is it. And when I tell you, this man took that personally. He took it personally because my 12 hours, I'm saying 12 hours, it could possibly very well have been a day. I think it was 12, but I'll need to double check. And he left my message unread for 4 days. Unread, right? So when he eventually came back, to me, it was 4 days later. It was a voice note. It was not a written a voice note. It was not a written text. And it went along the lines of this: oh my god, I've been waiting for you to get back to me all this time. I totally forgot to hit send. When I tell you I was left undelivered for 4 fucking days, this man lied to me on a voice note because, bitch, your fucking red receipts are on. Like, are you kidding me on? Your red fucking receipts. You're lying to me. And WhatsApp has literally given me the receipts for the lie, when it was bought, how much it was, the date, the time, everything. You have just literally stumbled on in, like, stinking of beer, like, lipstick on your collar and gone, oh, like, I wasn't anywhere I shouldn't have been. Like, that's the situation. Like, you literally, you stink. You're telling me a lie to my face while you're standing there staggering about, stinking about with, like, evidence on you. Like, this is you're at another one. Like, I've dug the ditch. Like, you're about to get fucking dirt thrown on you. You're going in that hole. All the nails are in the coffin. It's game over for you. And can I just also say, that was like 8 days ago. So, today, like right before I recorded this second section, I received another voice note. Another one. Now, we also have little pet names for each other. Now, this overgrown child, man, well, he's quite short, I think, as well, so we'll keep it cute. Oh god. If anyone else knows what that noise is, it's an ice cream van that's just driven down the street as I'm sitting next to an open window, so if you can hear it, I'll apologise. You know, just pretend it's summer. We're all living for the good vibes. And he literally sent me another one, and he tried to pretend that he didn't know what the nicknames were. Oh, like, imagine you called someone like T-Bone or something, right? Because, like, that's actually a real thing. I used to know a guy that played a trombone, so we all called him T-Bone. And then you turn around and you go, oh, T-Bone, or like D-Bone, whatever that is. Like, hello, we can see you're sweating. Like, we all know what the fuck's going on. Like, are you kidding? So, yeah, man, like, if you're gonna pretend that you have, oh, I was waiting for you to respond all this time, it was me. Yes, bitch, it was you. And yes, bitch, you can die waiting for a reply from me. Are you kidding? He also tried to message me on Instagram. Now, this is the thing. Be open and honest and upfront. But you've just outed yourself as a liar. I have the fucking receipts for the lie. Hop off my dick, bitch. Like, are you kidding? So, moral of the fucking story is, if you are gonna play the game right, play the game. Like, I literally opened the chat. My red receipts are on. He knows that I have seen his last message. He knows I've seen it. The tick is blue. If you swipe, it will say red on the same day, and probably like half an hour after he sent that, because I honestly am always on my phone. But this man has waited 8 days and still no response, and has sent another one, which I also have opened and listened to and have not replied to yet. So, you know, come ready, like, if you're gonna, but don't, like, I don't know, man, like, where do you draw the line? Like, why would you lie about something like that? Be like, oh, I'm so busy, I've been so sorry, like, I kept being able to reply. Like, I will be, if I have left you undelivered and it genuinely is like I've been busy or whatever, I'll just be open and upfront. But that's another thing, like, if you're gonna out yourself like that so foolishly and then lie about it, don't come near me. Like, don't do it. This has literally been flung into group chats, like, ridiculous behaviour from a fully grown man. But I will say this, as we are now, officially today is the first day of the new moon. My cycle seems to have synced the fuck up to the new moon. I tell you this, as I am on ibuprofen and paracetamol, trying to deal with this gift of life that Mother Nature has given me. The cycle, the horribleness of all that good stuff that can in turn create life. if used properly with the correct ingredients. But we'll move the fuck on from that. I don't want to get bogged down in the fucking crimson wave. So I was cleansing my space, my social media. I received like a little message. You all know I'm into like spiritual bullshit and like all this fun stuff. So obviously star signs and tarot and witchcraft apparently. Do what you will with that info. So basically this whole thing I was going through, and I don't really use Snap. Like, I really don't. I have a few people that I'll snap backwards and forwards on, and it's just like daft stuff here and there. We'll kind of, right now everybody feels a bit down in the dumps, a little bit hard to kind of converse with people. Like, people are like flaky and no one really knows what's going on. Now, fair enough, like that's just the vibe of it all. So basically I wanted to bring this to attention because it literally blew my mind, and it's something that I remember typing out and sending to this fucking day. And this, honestly, the savagery in it was just too hot to handle. So I removed someone who was a best friend on Snap the other day, but I also went through to see what we had shared with each other. Now, we go way, way back. Like, I'm talking primary school. When I moved to this side of the city, like, that's how long ago we were friends. And obviously Snapchat wasn't around until way, way after that. And I was talking to this one guy. Now, I have made it very, very well known that I will talk to about 7 or 8 guys at a time, you know, God willing, that they're there for my entertainment is 100% the vibe, the mood, the move, and the moment. Like, that's it. And this one guy, I was going through it at this time in my life. I was 21, so this was like, what, 4 years ago, coming up, well, three and a bit. We'll keep it cute, 3 and a bit, but if anyone asks, I'm still 21, that's all I'll tell you. So, I was 21, and this guy was from like Falkirk or whatever. Now, he always used to send me pictures of trees and tell me about his day, and he was some sort of like landscaper or whatever. And he was like, this is so heavy now. He was a fucking hippy dippy freak. When I tell you that, like, I mean it with my full chest. Like, this guy was odd. He wanted to, like, take me to the woods. And I was not quite ready to die. Ask me today, it might be a different response, but I was not quite ready and willing to go with this fucking man. So basically, this guy was like, oh, da 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 da. And he wanted to make plans with me, and I, at this point in my life, had started, like, slightly changing the dating game for myself, and I was like, coffee, of course. But if the right one came along, I was still going for those fucking tequila shots, don't question me. So it was fine. But this guy was like, oh, I don't like public spaces, it gives me anxiety. And I was like, son, you are giving me anxiety. Like, you are making me uncomfortable with your fucking lack of social skill and how you're so frightened to meet me in a public place. But the place that I normally go for coffee is kind of like semi, well, at this time, it had a big massive park, it wasn't super busy, it was what it was, and that was fine. This man was like so weird about it, but also that night I got really, really drunk on gin, and I was supposed to be going out with my pal, but she had to cancel last minute. So then I also had an ex come up, and we went to Tesco's while I was absolutely out my face on gin, dancing about the fucking furniture aisle in Tesco's up in like Coatbridge, in a tartan skirt, pure like dolled up for a night out. And this poor boy, ex-boyfriend, was like, what the fuck is going on? So this boy also like decided that, I don't know, because I was drunk, he was like, oh my god, you've taken this so to heart that I'm cancelling our date. And I was like, I had forgotten about this date to the coffee shop. Hence the other activities I was out doing. And yeah, he got really weird and started being like crazy. So then he kind of, I blocked him on WhatsApp, of course, the fucking, the platform of choice in this conversation, and blocked him on WhatsApp, and he starts then texting me furiously saying that he felt sorry for me. And this guy obviously was like, he was about 27 and I was 21, and he was going to town. He thought he was reading me to fucking filth, and I'll tell you this for free, you cannot do that to me. You can't do it, because I do it to myself enough. Like, everything's a joke, nothing's serious, nothing's real, it doesn't go deep. It literally goes as deep as the air around me. Like, there's nothing, it does not go in. You have to not be a joke for me to take it seriously. So this man starts being like, yeah, you were so hurt because I didn't come and see Coffee Date with you and blah blah. And I was just like, away and shag a tree, like fuck off, like you overgrown fucking mountain goat, can you piss off? Like, so this man starts going to town on me, thinking this was like a pure final farewell, and I literally was like, are you for real? Do you think you're like the only guy I'm talking to? Like, you are one of many, like many. Like, I used to honestly text boys for fun, like no deep, no nothing, pure filth, pure nonsense. Like, I know what I'm doing, I thought. But yeah, so this guy was going for fucking ham, and I was like, you are one of many. Like, you are not the only one. Like, you are one of the many. And this sent him over the edge, and it just became more and more ridiculous, and I had to actually block him on everything. I was like, not a chance. Imagine being a hippy dippy, like weed smoking, out in the wilderness, like, let's go to a forest, and then pretending that you are doing me the favour of conversation. The favour of conversation. You, like, you don't even know me. Like, that's, like, it's so surface level at that point. And then to show your arse like that, hello, are you kidding on? So, yeah, I just thought that was so funny. Some of the stuff that I used to get sent was unreal, and some of the I just remember sending it because I also had just broken up with another boy like a month before this, and you know that way you just kind of like go out and start harassing people. Well, I do anyway, tormenting a few already tortured souls. Apparently, from the way they act, you would think that they were never loved as children. Just makes you wonder though, do they all hate women? I don't know. I also really want to know a few people's perspectives on guys that always say females. Females, like, oh, what, these females out here. Female. Like, what is your beef? What is the deal? Why are you saying that? Women, girls. This is another thing as well, because, like, I was thinking this the other day, when girls are saying things like men are trash, whatever, they never say males. Male. It's always men. Guys, men. And it's always, if it's not female, it's like bitches. Do you know that way? Like, I think it's fucking nuts. Like, and I think it's almost like, it's very dehumanizing, but that's my point. Like, girls will not be sitting being like, male, like, males are crazy, males are this, males do this, males do that. It's still men. So why do the males of the human race say shit like female all the time? I think that's something to think on, I think. However, this has been a little, especially long episode, of course, because all the love and all the light and all the good things and all the good vibes, obviously only. It's kind of two mixed into one, because obviously last Sunday there was no episode. Somebody was telling me something wrong, something bad had happened to the platform that I upload on to, but I don't really know what's going on there, so we won't get into it. But yeah, basically, let me know if you guys are doing anything for Lent. Let me know if you have just decided that fucking lockdown is enough of a fucking cutback, or like if you're still just boozing, cruising all the way through it. Let me know. Like, I hope everybody's doing good, and I really, really just want to put like a little air of caution in, because please do not get yourself in such a fucking mangled ball of excitement for the 21st of June, just in case Big Bojo is like, nah, by the way, like, that was, my bad, guys, like, oof, clubs are not open, like, it is what it is. If you're not from, like, the UK, don't worry about it, it's all fair facts, live your life, do what you're being told to do, stay safe, COVID friendly, blah blah. Next week, I actually have someone who is super cute. She has music, she has some OnlyFans chat, she's a little bit of a sex worker, and she is a little baby sex worker, we'll call her. She's an absolute doll and a half. She's very sweet, and we had a really, really good chat. We were talking about like all this stuff, so do not miss out on our little chat, and everything that I have talked about in this, don't fucking worry about it, will be up on the Insta. I'll kind of put some stuff on Twitter, but Insta's definitely the place to go if you want to keep a tab. And yes, I have a few things that I'm working on. If you did not get the poll, if you did not use or see the poll on the Instagram, I was asking the men if you have ever used a dating book, a dating self-help guide, if you will. And I also asked the girls if they had ever used a dating self-help. There was some yeses for both of the male and the female split. See how I'm using male and female now? The guys and the girls. So that was interesting. So keep a wee eye out for that, because that's something that is coming up. I'm very excited about, and hopefully it'll bring a little bit of insight if you need it. As always, the DMs are open for anything related. Do not tell me you want me to sit on your face. Do not send me anything inappropriate. I'm just not doing it. So that's the bottom line. Don't send me anything fucking weird. I won't have to get weird with you. Let's keep it amicable. Let's be friends. And I hope you have the best fucking day, and I will see you next Sunday.